What's up, guys? I'm out here at Cane Creek Park. We're going to be playing 18 holes today using only Løft discs. If you're not familiar with Løft, they are a Danish company that has used Kickstarter to fund the release of all of their molds so far, and they've gone for a pretty interesting strategy. Løft so far, they've got 6 molds. 3 are pretty unique and 3 are more staples that you'd find in everyone's bag. I was immediately drawn to the company. I studied chemical engineering in school. I love chemistry, and their whole concept of naming the discs and assigning flight numbers is based on the periodic table. So every disc is named after an element, and based on where that element is on the periodic table, that tells you how it's going to fly. So if it's closer to the top, it's lower speed; closer to the bottom, higher speed. And further to the right, it's more overstable. Further left is more understable. I just love it. I geek out about it. I think it's really cool that they've gone that way. Before we get into it, I think my goal out here is going to be to try to shoot even with these discs. Cane Creek is it's a relatively difficult course. It's a good course to have as your home course because there are parts of it that are challenging, parts of it that are easy. Really, you kind of want to park every hole that you can. At the same time, my scores here range from the best I've ever done, I think, is 10 or 11 under, and now typically if I have a bad day, I'm somewhere around 3 over. So we're going to shoot for even par out here. Before we do that, let's get into some of the discs they have. We'll go lowest speed up. This is the hydrogen. So this is the first disc that Løft made. Got it in 2 plastics here. These lilac color ones, these are like the Founders Edition. So if you backed on Kickstarter, you got this special color. This is the one I'm going to be putting with. It's beta solid plastic. It's their base plastic. This is alpha solid. I've got another Founders Edition in alpha solid. Flight numbers are 1200. It's super lid-like. I don't know if you can see how well you can see the profile of the disc there, but pretty deep. It's kind of hard for me to throw it well, so we'll see how often I throw it off the tee. But the concept, this is the first disc they did, and the idea, they said they wanted to make the straightest flying putter possible. So that's what they went for. I think they kind of nailed it. If you can throw it well, it goes dead straight. Very fun disc to throw, again, if you do it well. I know I don't always do it super great. That's the hydrogen. Like I said, 1200. Next up, another unique disc. This one is crazy. This is the neon. Flight numbers are 3103, and this is the most puddle top disc I have ever seen. Hopefully you can see that, but just look how low the center of the disc is compared to the rim. The bottom is domed. Like, it's got a pop bottom. You heard of pop top drivers, the pop bottom approach disc. Neon, another Founders Edition. Haven't thrown it much. Next up is the silicon, which I think I lost my Founders Edition to the silicon, but pretty basic mid-range, 5403, alpha solid plastic on this one as well. A beautiful white disc with a gold stamp. Next in line, this is another one of those bread and butter discs they made, the titanium. I've thrown this a couple times. It's a really great disc. 7.5, -2.1 in the alpha solid plastic. Release it on high, either pop it up to flat, maybe a little bit of turn. Small finish at the end. Next up is another one that pretty much everyone's got in their bag, just not from this company. It's a Xenon 9304. So the second noble gas of the group, overstable Firebird type fairway. Xenon. All right, and then the last disc in the Løft lineup, which I've got 2 of these as well, just kind of throw a couple of shots today, is the Boreum. Boreum is another one in that category of super unique discs that they've gone for. Flight numbers are 14.6, -1.3 on the Boreum. Boreum, when they made it, they wanted it to be the fastest driver on the market, and this thing, it flies so quick. They're more understable for me than the flight numbers. -1, I'd call it more like a -3. Like these guys, these flip. I want to show you, they wanted to make the fastest driver possible. So what they did is they rounded the inner rim right here. Hope you can see how round that is. It's not sharp. Let me get this is a dimension, so 14.5 speed. Hopefully you can see the difference between the rims there. The dimension, sharp edge here. The Boreum, smooth, curved. They're actually not the first company to do this. In 2005, Discwing made the Quarter K, which is the same idea. The guy who operated that company was a physicist. He knew about aerodynamics and flight mechanics and physics, all those things. And so he designed a disc with a curved inner rim like that to make it more aerodynamic so less drag without losing any loft, or lift rather. But that's the idea behind it. We'll get into it. 18 holes. Here we go. Hole 1, Cane Creek, 307. I think I'm just going to throw everything off the tee here and kind of let myself play the best one to start, just because I'm not familiar with these discs. But we'll go. Oh, we won't throw the neon. Oh, maybe we'll, just so you guys get an idea of the flight characteristics. Cold hands, cold discs. We'll see what we can do. This is silicon first, so the overstable mid. Let's see what happens. Oh, it's nice. That pushed really well. Not super glidey. That was good. That's the flight of the silicon, though. Throw a hydrogen next just to see the flight. I'm nowhere near. Gonna be nowhere near the basket. 1 speed. Yeah, that came out early, but that was dead straight. Okay, neon. This thing's gonna dump. It's crazy. It's great. It feels weird to grip it. Just give it a ton of anhyzer. And look at that. Goodness gracious, that thing fought the whole way. All right, titanium. This is the one that, if I'm gonna get it there, it's gonna be with this disc. And I turfed it. You can see just how understable that is. -2, let's see. That was with the tailwind as well. We're getting that amount of flip. Xenon. Again, we'll go anhyzer here. That's going to be in the woods. Sit down. Oh, great tree kick. And last, let's throw boreum. Going to be way too much disc for this hole. Honestly, just try to get lucky here. No love. No love. Luckily, we got 2 of those. Hopefully give you a more full picture of the flight here with this one. See just how much that flips for a -1.3. Really good distance, so that's about pin high. Cold shot, no warm up. Let's go finish out this hole. Well, everything else was scattered around the fairway. Silicon is parked. It's a really good tee shot right there. First one of the day. 5403 on the silicon. Putting with the Løft hydrogen. Let's see. Very different from the proxy that I usually putt with, but we made that one not too far. Cool, birdie to start. Silicon hydrogen. See if we can keep it going. Now hole 2 in the long pin is 245. I have a feeling silicon's probably too much disc here, so we're gonna go with a neon and see if we got enough power to actually make this thing push all the way there. Again, just one glide on this thing, so get the height right, hit the gap, let it fade. Wow, it's getting to the ground so fast. That's a putt, man. That thing does not want to fly. That's so cool. Get a tester for birdie here on 2 and really figure out how these things putt now. Maybe 20 feet or so. Oh, not a bad bid. Let me see the alpha solid, see if I can correct that. A little bit less glide than I'm used to out of a putter. So those longer putts will be a bit of an adjustment. But I'm 1 under through 2. Try to putt with a glove on. Tap in the par here. 1 down through 2. I'd say maybe a little better than expected. Maybe on pace. I didn't expect to get 1, but I kind of thought I might get 2. Hole 3 in the new D pin, about 310 feet or so. If you're like me, you don't have a good forehand. As you've established, I don't have a good forehand. It's very difficult to get there. Glad I'm under par right now because I'm expecting a bogey here, but we'll see what we can do. Got a good snap on that. Didn't quite get it to flex the way I wanted it to. Try again with the boreum, just easy throw, see what we can do. It's kind of hard to forehand that disc, can't lie. But maybe we can scramble there for there. Maybe we can scramble from there for par. Maybe a tough scramble from here. I think it's got to be a forehand. Maybe silicon can do the job here. If I punch it through, we'll be in a decent spot. Use the bag. Again, if I can hit this gap, that'd be terrible. I pulled that really, really harshly. So we did indeed yoink this way left, but not terrible. Like I said, wasn't expecting a par here, so should have a chance to get the expected bogey. A nice jump approach here with the hydrogen. That'll be fine. Let me see if I were to get frisky with a neon. Okay, yeah, that's going to be great for making runs from this kind of range. All right, bogey putt here. Close range. Don't know how much I like putting this, if I'm honest. We'll have to find a use for this, the hydrogen, somewhere on this course. I think I need to try to throw every disc at least once off the tee. We'll see. We'll see when this guy makes an appearance. Maybe some shots on the back nine will be good for it. Hole 4, 298. My typical play on this hole kind of oscillates between a hex right at it or throwing the Terra wide. So I'm going to throw a Xenon. I think it's closest thing that I had to my usual play. Kind of just over the top of that little tree if I hit it right. And then on some hyzer, let it fade back to the basket. It's a lot of beef compared to what I usually throw. That's not very good. Let me see what I can do with the titanium up the gut. Almost similar to with the hex, but this has got more flip than the hex does for sure. See what happens. Yeah, so much flip on that. It's a really fun disc, but that was a bad throw. All right, tough downhiller for birdie here. Would have liked to get this one. I think I said at the beginning, my goal was even par. I want to break par is what I meant to say. So let's see. Can we make this birdie putt? I'm gonna aim right at the 4 on the band and hope that the low glide of this thing makes it fall. No words. Hole 5, 500-foot par 4. Maybe a little bit longer than that. Just going to open up the boreum. The basket is up over the hill, up where those evergreens are. Just going to aim over the top of that tree that's still got some red leaves on it. I think you're going to see how flippy this disc can fly. I grabbed a twig instead of a piece of grass to check the wind. Very helpful. Pretty still right now. It was blowing earlier when I got here. I'm going to play it safe. Don't want to put the OB in play. Just rip it over there. Yeah, look at that thing flip. Really good shot. I'm going to throw the other one too, just to compare. See if I can get maybe a little more hyzer on that one. This one. Try to let it flip up instead of just crashing like that. Pretty similar result. Not bad though, good throws. Honestly, both of those shots were bombs. I can just see the basket from my lie. I think we're gonna try a neon on forehand here. This thing is like the Berg on steroids. I don't know if it made it. It has no glide, and it's got so much fight, so much fade in it. It's just such an interesting disc to throw. I think I gotta, I feel like I gotta throw pretty hard to get there. Here. Skip. If it's skipped, that's gonna be close. I'm gonna try an upshot with the hydrogen. Just first time I threw it, fell out of my hand. Let's see if we can get one right in there. Tell you what, that's super straight. That's what they made it for. I missed my line, and it stayed on that line that I missed. So we did get the big skip we wanted out of the neon. I think the Alabama ice down here helped out. This putt is for birdie. Barely made that one. Wow, I thought I missed it. That counts though. So 2 under after 5. Good pace. I think there's going to be some bogeys out there for us. So try to get maybe 1 or 2 more birds here on the front. Really, hole 7 I think might be the only one left that I could reasonably get. But we'll see what happens. Hole 6, just about 300 feet. You can see it through the tree there, elevated. With the wind right now, we've got straight headwind. So titanium and boreum are much more flippy than their flight numbers. So I'm just going to throw a xenon and try to get just some forward progress. Yeah, really 308. If I can throw this 250 just around the tree and up by the basket in line with it, that'll be pretty good. The wind didn't add any flip, but it pushed it in the air. That's pin high. If I threw that wider, we'd be looking at a putt. Doing a little long, actually. I thought with the lower glide, it might be short of the pin. But it fought through the wind really well. I'm going to try to really lay up with this. No point in running it. Yeah, that's nice. Tap in. Good, take care of it. Good par. Take that. Kind of a dicey hole. Hole 7, 244. Here's the tee pad. Goes up over this ridge and then downhill pretty quickly to the basket. Right there. Now, normally here I throw an entropy. I don't think the neon's gonna have enough glide to get there for me. 244, and it didn't reach hole 2. So I'm gonna try to throw in the silicon on some hyzer. Aim off to the right and let it fall back in. The wind is going to keep that from really getting over. Or maybe 25 feet. Pretty good result. I think that same shot without wind would have been pretty perfect. But a little bit of a left to right tail kind of went and started fading, kind of pushed it down. So we got a birdie putt and a makeable one at that. Nice. Putting decent with that. I don't like the way it feels really at all, but they're going in. Cool. 3 under through 7. Headwind here on 8, 365. Tree is the obvious problem here. I think the mature thing to do is throw a xenon flat right at it. Not mess with this headwind at all with these drivers that are super flippy. Yeah, that's actually excellent. I'll take that all day. Down the hill, no real putt for birdie, but should be an easy par. Let me see if we go crazy with the boreum, try to throw a roller. Yeah, too windy. Just going to push right into the fence. Pretty good result with the xenon here. Uphill, maybe 90-ish feet. I'm going to spin the neon at it. Noble gas to noble gas. And to see if we can maybe get a little fireworks. Who knows? Decent. A little easy cleanup for par here. Pretty decent upshot with the neon, honestly. I think it is actually a really solid disc. Those kind of 150 to 100 feet. Just spin it at it. Don't have to worry about it. Berg-esque, like I said. All right, hole 9 in the B, about 340. Downhill. My typical shot on here is a crave. Just let it turn and then hook back at the end. I think titanium probably fills that slot the most out of these discs. but it is considerably more flippy than my Crave. So we're going to put it on hyzer out to the left, let it flip up. That's pretty great. Fade. If that thing had an ounce of fade at the end, that would have been parked. Long putt though. Long putt for par here. Circle 2 look. I'm going to see what this guy does on a little step putt. Again, not a lot of glide, so maybe aim a little higher. Oh, you know what? If I aimed a little higher, I would have gone in. Just tap that in. Take my par and head to the back 9. Aggressive putt. Nailed the pole. Bounced back at me. Kind of scary. But we're 3 down through 9. Pretty good. So we go into the back 9 at 3 under par. Hole 10, 330, dead straight. Going to try a similar shot I just did on 9 with the titanium. Probably more hyzer though. See if we can make it come out at the end. That was great. Hit the tree. An ounce more turn and we would have had a tap in. So we actually got bigger kick off the tree than I thought. Try to poke something through. Give ourselves a little par look. You know what? Not great. But we made a couple long putts with this so far. And this isn't the longest one of the day for sure. Okay, maybe it is. A little bit uphill. Gonna have to straddle because of those branches. Gonna not tear my groin. Well, can't par them all. Tough start to the back there. Threw what I thought was a really great tee shot out of my hand, only for it to get tree directed and much further away than I thought. Not my best up shot. Decent-ish bid. Tap in for bogey. The back 9 certainly has more teeth than the front out here. Saw that there with the early bogey. Hole 11 says 271. I think I'm going to try. I throw an Envy here usually. See what a silicon can do. Similar kind of line. Just go down the right side. Miss everything. And be parked. Threw it too high. I parked the A pin, but from up there it's an easy pitch down to the B pin. So I actually pushed a decent way beyond the A pin. So I've got to look here at the B pin. It's a risky run, but we've seen how this thing just kind of drops out of the air. We'll see. You know what? Cannot complain about that. Walking off 11 with a par is what I wanted. And the fact that we hit metal on a long birdie putt, we love it. Hole 12, about 400, par 4. If I can get out of 12 and 13, still a stroke under par, then I'll feel good about finishing under for the round. This shot is tricky. Tricky. You want to be right more than left if you're off the fairway. I don't know if I've said it yet, but this plastic is awesome. I love it. The Alpha Solid, it's a premium plastic, you know, comparable to Neutron Star, whatever you want to throw, whatever brand you like to throw, or if you throw a lot of brands. So it's just a premium plastic. I'd say of what I am familiar with and throw the most, probably pretty close to Castoplast K1. It's got a great feel to it. I really like it a lot. I'm an MVP fanboy, obviously, but this is nailing the science theme. They make good plastic. I could see myself throwing a lot of Løft. Didn't get the turn I wanted. Oh, bad kick. That's over by the fence. That'll be a pitch out and tough scramble for par. So I made it a good ways down the fairway. This is genuinely, though, the worst possible place to be. Now that I've been blessed with a lane here just to spin the neon through. Set rolls, stops. That's not bad. We might be able to get a par from there. Honestly, really pleased with this upshot from where I was. I'm giving myself the little forehand lane. Not sure how well you can see the basket from that vantage point. It's hard to see it anywhere over here, but forehand through here, if I hit the right line, we'll be in with a chance at par. It's going to be a little inside. That's honestly probably a fine tree. That'll be a layup for bogey from there, though. Shot number 4 off the fairway here. Try to just slide one close to the basket. Nice. Now, if you've never played Cane Creek before, or not the par 4 position of 12 at least, and wondering why I laid up a 50-footer, this right here is why. Just a huge drop off behind the basket. You can make putts from down in there, but it's not preferred. Anyhow, got tap in left for the bogey. Let's do it this way. Nice layup. Good bog. So we only took a single there on 12 rather. I think honestly pretty good for what could have done. The damage that could have been done there. 13, 210, 213 technically is what the sign says. Just dead straight. I think this could be the Hydrogen's moment here. If I get something out, just flat, dead straight, could have something on our hands here. That's a gorgeous flight. A little bit long. Have a par from there. So you can see just how long I went there with the Hydrogen. Had a really nice smooth flight out of it though. And when I first got my Founders Edition ones, I tended to flip them over just because of how much off-axis torque I was throwing with and didn't know it at the time. But man, these are really flippy for the straightest flying putter. That was why. Just bad technique. Got a smoother release there though. Tricky par save here. That's pretty great though, in all honesty. That might be a more useful disc than I think it is. Take the tap in. 4 par. 14, 350, straight uphill and straight downhill. Got some wind off the lake to my right. I'm gonna go Boreum here. We need distance, so I gotta break out the big guns. Gotta hit the line perfectly here. Like I said, just a tough shot shape. Made it out of 12 and 13, just 1 over par on those 2 holes. So we're 1 under on the round still. Big thing will be executing tee shots from here on in. There's not a lot of holes left that are like 18 is the last one that's wooded like that. So these next 4 open holes, 14, 15, 16, 17, if I can play them clean, there's a birdie opportunity on 17. Give myself a little insurance heading into 18. But we got to par the others. That's actually really good. Better than I thought, for sure. Had to throw it high to let it get the full flight. So a fantastic tee shot there. Right in line with the pin. It's a few feet short. Could have been an ace if I was strong. A little headwind putt, a little bit downhill. No problem for the Hydrogen. Bonus birdie for sure there, take me to 2 under. Should be, oh, sorry Mr. Hydrogen. Should be pretty straightforward from here, just play clean golf and should finish under par. Hole 15, unfortunately a 4-hand hole. Only birdied this with a backhand roller. Just gonna throw a safe shot off to the right a little bit, not safe, but well executed. You know, that might be a putt at the end of the day. Too far for a true bid at it, I think. We'll give it a little, everything that we got with the Hydrogen, and then see what happens on a neon forehand. Yank that. Easy par. Missed that as well. Little tap in from here for the par. Needed that on 15. Kind of trickier if you mess it up. 16, most iconic hole out here probably. 300-foot water carry. And I'm conflicted because I don't want to put any of these discs in the water. My typical shot here is a proxy turnover. It is probably dumb, but it's fun. It's open enough that I want to try the silicon straight over. Got to commit. Put that and fall. That was a great throw, just a bad shot. Big 150 feet right here. If I can get up and down here for par, that sets me up to go par bogey on the end and be okay. Skip towards the basket. I think that is great. Wow. That was another nervy shot thrown over the water with something I didn't want to lose. A little bit longer than I thought. Got a putt here in the headwind. Wow. Got the lift that I wanted. Hopefully the wind is not just totally scuffing the audio right now. All right, hole 17 is 196 up the hill. This is the shot that the Neon was made for. Typically throw my entropy on this hole. It's the only hole out here at Cane Creek that I've aced. Got to skip ace with the entropy. If I hit the line with the Neon, this could be electric. I'll get a skip. A little too straight. We'll have a runnable putt for birdie. Well, I didn't get the skip I was hoping to get. Like I said, very runnable putt. It is downhill. A little bit of danger behind. But a birdie here would be huge. Nailed it. Sick bird. We go into 18. Looking real nice. Going to 18. 3 down. Hole 18. Final hole of the round. 200 feet dead straight. I'm going to throw both of my premium plastic hydrogens off the tee here. Been a lot of fun. Need just a good hole to finish it out here. Oh, inches away from being perfect. Throw one more, maybe 2. I might throw the base plastic hydrogen also. Well, that's why you don't throw multiple off of this tee. Because then you gotta be looking. Throw the base. Slipped out of my hand. I'm not going to throw anymore because I don't want to have to look for them. Well, I'm yet to find the last one I threw, the beta solid. So, go ahead and try to finish out the hole. Get to it later. Neon. Yeah, that's fine. Got one last putt here for 3 under. Let me get around this tree. The straddle. Easy as you like. Huh. Oh, please stop. That rolled pretty long way. 3 under par though. Time to go find those discs. Well, that is it for this challenge. I hope you've enjoyed it. 3 under par. The goal was to shoot at least 1 under, so pretty happy with that result. If you've never done something like this before, I encourage you to try some new plastic, throw some new stuff. Disc golf is a game. It's meant to be fun. And what's more fun than trying something new? None of us, well, I'm assuming none of us watching this are pros. I'm certainly not a pro. There's no need to be locked into a certain brand unless you really like them. Throw what you love. Throw something fun. Really like the Løft discs. Like I said, plastic is great. I really love the feel of it. If any of them were to get into my bag, the Boreum has been in my bag before, and I'll be honest, it's just led to stupid shots. It's so understable. really hard for me to use. It's only really reliable in a tailwind, and when I do have a tailwind, it bombs because I can still flip it up in a tailwind, but it won't burn over. But I probably wouldn't bag a boreum. Xenon's interesting. It's somewhere between my Fireball and my Terra. It's longer than the Terra and the Fireball, really. So maybe, I don't know. Hard to find a slot for this bag that I think makes a lot of sense for me to add it in. But a really good disc. I enjoyed throwing it today. The titanium is tough because it's a fun disc. Leopard-ish. It's 7.5 -2.1. You can hit some really cool flip-up lines. I really thought when I let go of it on 10 that I about aced, but it didn't have all the turn that it needed to get into the basket. But I do like the titanium, but it wouldn't go in my bag. So boreum and titanium are out. Xenon, kind of a dark horse. The silicon I really enjoyed throwing. It kind of has probably too much overlap with my pyro and my reactor. It's really in between the two of them, and there's not a lot of shots that are right in between a pyro and reactor. So the silicon may be my favorite of what I threw today, but there's no spot for it in the bag. Neon is interesting. Neon's probably the most likely to go in the bag. I don't know if it will or not, but man, it was just so fun. It was cartoonish to throw this thing around the course. So overstable, so beefy. 3103. I mean, so puddle top. One more time. Look at that. Just wow. Last disc is the hydrogen. Again, this is probably going to go in that dark horse category with the Xenon. Really fun to throw. Now that my form is a little bit better, I can actually throw this thing and really hit some lines with it. But yeah, all in all, really love what Løft is doing. I hope they make more discs, fill out their lineup, and you may see some of these in my bag at some point. I love the theme so much. I mean, come on, I'm a nerd. Love the idea of using the elements on the periodic table. If you've enjoyed this video, subscribe to my channel, leave a like, leave a comment. One person who does all three of those, subscribe, like, and leaves a comment, I'll send you this hydrogen right here. So if you like the look of these discs, you want to try one out for yourself, subscribe, like, and comment, and you may be the winner of this hydrogen. Cool. Thanks for watching, guys. See you next time.